Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for listening to Service Cool Talk Radio. I'm your host, Wayne Bradley. Thank you for listening tonight. We've got a few topics we're going to talk about this evening, and I want to thank everyone that's listening, and I hope you'll call in this evening. The call-in number is 347-996-3175. All right. Our first topic of the evening that we're going to talk about is the health care bill again. It seems like we've talked about this a lot on the show, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that they keep changing things and adding new things to the bill. So it was just, I guess, brought to their attention now that they're going to change the House bill. There was no tax on what they called Cadillac plans for health care, which is essentially anyone who has a good job, if you have a decent job and you have a health care plan, that's called a Cadillac plan. That was a very ambiguous term, and they, pretty much applying that to anyone that has a job and you have health care. And what they're going to do is essentially raise the rate of income that you're bringing in to collect taxes. So that means, again, less money in the pockets of everyday Americans and everyday consumers because they've decided to bring our tax rate up just to collect money for this health care bill. So we're going to talk about that in depth this evening because yesterday the AFL-CIO president came to D.C. and made it quite known that that's not what they signed up for as far as what the unions wanted. So going into that, he had a rough day yesterday. Now he's realizing that he's going to keep his word. In the beginning, I like to remind people, John McCain said that he was going to do this with his health care plan and it was going to be necessary. So he was being honest about it, and he realized if he's going to do something different, help out and make the health care reform bill, that was one of the things that was going to happen. And so now you have a lot of people in the unions, and I'm in the Detroit area, so you have a lot of people that are working in the automotive industry now that are going to find out they're bringing home less money in these tough times than they asked for before because he's going to, they proposed at that time to raise the income on people who have, health insurance benefits, and with that money that derives from that, they'll pay for this health care bill. So that affects a lot of people. And I want to have people call in this evening, give me your opinion on that, because if you're working at any of the big three or anything like that, this directly affects you. I give an example. I say, if you make $60,000 a year and you have health care benefits, well, now they can say you make $66,000 a year, even though you don't see a dime of that money. Now you're going to get taxed on it, which again raises the rate of what they can tax you and the amount. It's less money in your pocket at the end of the day. So I think that the idea of healthcare reform is a good idea. We just have to figure out a good way to do it. And right now, also while we're doing this radio broadcast, I'm going to also go live with the Ustream broadcast. So I'll be starting that up right now. And so if you're listening online, that's great. And then for all the people that aren't listening, I'm going to go ahead and start up a Ustream broadcast. All right. Hi, everybody now that's actually watching me on Ustream. I'm going to send out a tweet so everyone knows what's going on. This is an interactive show. I can talk all evening, obviously, but this is more about the people and what they're going on and what they're feeling right now. So give me a call, 347-996-3175. Give me a call. Give me your opinion, because again, this is what I consider a flip-flop of what originally President Obama said he was going to do, which was not raise the taxes and affect the people, in America about what's going on. So he's got some explaining to do out there, and I look forward to the whole topic and conversation because again, the Congress said that they weren't going to do that, and now they are. And this has been going on. Now he's getting called because the unions aren't going to go for that. They support the Democratic Party usually persistently, and this is not signed up for. So I'm sending out a tweet now, letting everybody know I'm also live on YouTube. So if you get a chance, check it out. Go to conservativecool.com. That's the website. I put in some new poll today regarding another issue, and that's Senator Reid. But we'll talk about that soon. Our first issue that you can get is the health care bill. Was it a flip-flop? I don't know. He said that he wasn't going to raise the tax rates on middle income, middle America, and now at this point, I guess after he's talked to his financial advisors, he realizes that that might be the only way that this is going to happen. So, again, things can change, I guess, but this is exactly what he promised he wouldn't do, and now that this is what you have going on. So, I want to hear what you have to say. Call in 347-996-3175. I want to hear what you have to say, America. These are some crucial times, and this is the way you speak out. The health care bill still has not passed yet, so we still have time to keep our politicians accountable for what they're doing. And give a call in. Let's hear what you have to say. 347-996-3175. We'll get a couple other issues we're going to talk about this evening. Obviously, we're going to spend a little time talking about the health care bill. Some of the other issues I have with the whole health care bill is the idea that they promised during the campaign that they would do the whole process through C-SPAN, meaning that it would have been on TV. We all could watch the process, watch the debating, watch the issues. And that so far has not happened. Most of these deals have been done in the back rooms, in the evenings, midnights, Christmas Eve, exactly the times when people aren't paying attention to get this bill done and get passed. And, and more and more time it takes to pass it, the more you realize that this bill might not be necessarily all that good, and people are starting to realize that. So, check out your viewers so far on Ustream. So, how are you doing? Thanks for checking in on Conservatives Cool Talk Radio. And now, again, we're going to start doing live Ustream broadcast. So, I appreciate anyone that's watching and listening tonight. I don't understand why the mainstream media is not calling him out on the promises he's made. If you're going to do the health care bill, in the beginning, it was all about having a single payer system, a public option, and immediately after that proposal was made, they realized it wasn't going to pass. So the next thing you know, we go into politician mode, and it just comes down to, okay, well, let's pass a bill, and I don't really, whatever we want to call it, let's just pass a bill so we can claim a victory in this health care debate and the health care battle. And I just, that was not the point of this. And the whole point of President Obama was the idea of change, is that we weren't going to do all the special projects. We were going to focus more on what can help the country, the people. And so far, that's not what we've seen, to be honest. The only segment of jobs that's grown so far since he's been president has been the government sector, and that has to concern people. So I want to hear what you have to say. 347-996-3175. I'm going to go to some tweets, and I'm also going to go to a live chat also on the show. So give me a call. I want to hear from you. 347-996-3175. All right. Then you got our first caller here this evening. 996-3175. Caller, you're on air, but you're going to have to step away from the mic, okay? From the computer. Can you hear me, caller? All right, I had a caller from Detroit here. Give me a call if you can hear me talk. If you not, give me a call right back. I see you calling in.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
How's the broadcast? Can you hear me out there? Oh, we lost you. You got to call right back. Everybody on Ustream, how are you doing this evening? Glad we got a couple people joining us this evening on Ustream also. We're talking first issue we're going to talk about is the health care bill and the changes. And I think we had a caller, so I'm going to wait for that caller to call back in. Detroit callers, give me a call. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your opinions on the health care debate and the cost being passed on to the middle class. All right. The biggest question I would have about this bill is the fact that there was supposed to be this transparency, this whole administration, and we're just not seeing that. And it's disappointing. I mean, I figure a lot of people that have voted for the president, they wanted to see these changes, and so far they haven't been exhibited. There's been a lot of politician games going on, even still now at this point. So I'm waiting here. I got a caller calling again. Caller, you're on the air. Step away from the computer, please.
Okay, is that what the problem is? I'm a little too close to the computer?
Yes, sir. Now I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. My name is Eric Coleman from Detroit.
Eric Coleman, how you doing, buddy?
Good, sir, and excellent topic there. Just wanted to let everybody out there know that I'm not your typical person that will probably call in. I am actually a union man.
Okay.
And this is an awful bill. It was never worked out properly, and that's what I have to say about that.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. In the beginning he promised that he wouldn't pass this bill on to the middle class. And it seems like
I think it's been shoved down the middle class's throat.
Well, at this point, it definitely is. It definitely is. Are you getting the feedback, or is it just on my end here, Eric?
I'm getting, what I'm was getting even before I called was the broadcast is coming through very statically, very static.
Okay, I was wondering how the reception was coming down this show. I'm also doing the broadcast live on Ustream also.
Yeah, that's another thing. My wife and myself were actually tuning in together, and I was wondering how we could access you through Ustream. Very interesting show.
You can go to Ustream.com and go CIC.
Is that just a letter U or?
Yep, Ustream. And if you're on
Ustream.com?
Yes, you can look up Conservative School right there. It'll pop in.
Okay.
All right. So
if there's anything that I could add of work to your show, I, as a union man, I hear your point loud and clear. Like you said, your example, if you're making about 60, 70 grand or whatever it is, and and then they add on an extra 10% to that, and then that puts you in a higher tax bracket, and effectively you make less.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It takes more money out of people's pockets, and that was not the intention of the health care bill. So.
And I'll be honest with you, I voted for Barack Obama because I thought he was the best candidate, but this is not what I voted for. This is not the change that I can believe in.
I appreciate the call in on that.
Well, I'm going to hang up and listen now, and thank you for taking my call, Mr. Bradley.
All right, you have a good evening, sir.
You too.
All right. All right. Well, I hope that so far, like I said, we're always using different kind of different mics and stuff here. So different shows, we're using different things to try to get the best broadcast. I apologize if the broadcast is not coming out as clearly as possible. I'm also on Ustream, so you can always catch the broadcast and actually see me live on there right now. So give me a call, 347-996-3175. Let me go to my Ustream chat and see what's going on. All right. Well, I hope the reception will be better as the show goes on. Again, we're all constantly working to try to give a better sound and better interactive experience. So constantly doing different things to try to make the show better. So I apologize if any of the audio is not coming in 100%. clearly this evening. Give me a call, 347-996-3175. That was a union guy I just had calling in, and he's talking about his experience with this health care bill. The bottom line is that somebody has to pay for it. If they've done it, and if they do it another way where they pass the cost on to the insurance companies, they'll just pass it on to us. Someone's got to pay for it. It's not going to be a free lunch for anybody involved. So the quicker we figure out a plan, I guess, that works better, that's more economically feasible for everybody, not just, say, the state of Nebraska or something like that, I think we'll be in better shape. This bill, again, Senator Ben Nelson, who knew this was a bad bill, wouldn't accept it, wouldn't sign off onto it until he was basically bought out for his vote for the state of Nebraska for $300 million. So it's a situation where right now we really have to hold all of our politicians accountable, not just Democrats, Republicans too. Everyone's bipartisan when it comes to wasting our hard-earned money and wasting our tax dollars. So we have to hold them all accountable. By culture and by nature, the liberals, Democrats spend a lot quicker, but as of lately, the Republicans too have joined in on that, and it's unfortunate. So as we go forward, we hope that that's the reason that's the thing we can do to hold all of our leaders and politicians accountable is by calling them out, showing up at Tea Party rallies and things of that nature, and making sure that we're holding them accountable regardless of what side of the aisle they stand on. Because at the end of the day, they work for us, the people. We hire them through our voting. These big companies that fund a lot of these people and support a lot of these people do it still through the money that the little guy puts in buying these cars, buying products or whatever they have, that is causing these people to be able to help out our politicians. And we have to take some of the power back, some of the responsibility back, but we also have to care and do it in a way that's consistent so they know that they can't just walk around Washington, D.C. with a blank check on the backs of the American people. So I think we have to do a better job of holding our politicians and our leaders accountable for what they do, because at this point, I honestly believe that they've been able to almost operate with impunity. They realize that the American people aren't paying attention to what they're doing, and so therefore they can go out and do things and make these bills and no one's going to call them out. And I think it's almost unfortunate that I think it's very unfortunate that because we're in a system where mainstream media, who actually appreciate and like Obama to the point where they're not willing to challenge them, they're doing a disservice to the American people. They have an agenda just like everyone else does, and that is that's their goal, is to make sure that any criticism is minimalized. The questions are not. The only time they really get upset with the president is when they're not allowed access to certain things or when they shut them out. But if they somehow feel like they're given access, they really back up on him. They don't ask him the hard questions. It's not a constant pressure on him to perform at that level with the media. He's not having to be square with them, which kind of leaves the normal people in the dark. And I guess that's why we do this show. Yeah, it's a way that normal people can call in, let your voice be heard. We'll do our best to get this email and sent to people, our politicians, our leaders, regardless of what state you're living in. There's people that follow me throughout the country on Twitter. I have over 14,000 followers, and there's people from all over. And some of these people are political leaders, candidates, and that's something else we're going to do moving forward. Is inviting candidates that really represent the people. New ideas, new personalities, the people that can help move this country forward. And I look forward to doing that. And then hopefully in the next month, I look forward in February to bringing in some politicians and people that we can ask the questions that we want answered and hopefully get an honest answer. And that's the goal, like I said, is to make the politicians accountable to the people, but also make the people reach out and make it more interactive, where we're actually asking questions, where we're not just reading and believing what one source of news is telling us. That's the whole point of my vision with my website, is that I give you news from different people, different feeds, so you can make up your mind on what you believe. I'm not here trying to convert people from one side to the other. I'm telling you the truth how I might see it. And, there might be an edge to it that some people don't agree with. But again, this is America. This is what makes this country great. We're allowed to have different opinions and different beliefs, but we all have to work together at the end of the day if we want to make this country better. I think that our current administration could do a better job of that. It's almost like the attitude has been, we won, so we will do what we want. We'll move as we please, and really that's not the spirit of democracy and of our leaders working together. Yes, you were the elected president, but there was also another 40% of people who didn't elect you, so you need to keep aware of that constituent and realize that it's, amongst really the independent voters that will continue to affect how these elections are won. We've had a lot of Democrats retiring and pulling out in the last couple of weeks, and I think that's inevitable what's going on because of all the changes. Senator Reid, I've got some things to say about you, but Senator Reid, he might be in his last year also, so maybe he's going for the gusto to make all the changes he can and change America, fundamentally change America as much as possible over the next year before the election. So we have to stay diligent and letting these people know. I mean, again, we're their employers, and I think a lot of times they forget that. They believe that once we've elected them, they can kind of just go free and do what they want to do. I think we have to kind of rein that back in. As a country, we need to rein back in all of our politicians, remind them that every time there's a bill that's passed, all this pork barrel spending, all the waste, that this is people's hard-earned tax dollars. This is what people are working for every day, bringing home less income because we're paying taxes. So it makes sense that we be more prudent with other people's money. I mean, I think that in general, it's a lot easier for someone to waste someone else's money. And we as the people need to start looking at our money. I think a lot of times we forget that, it's just, I pay taxes and we don't think anything about it. But we need to really think about the fact that our politicians will take the money that we work hard for and waste it and put us in a deeper hole. I mean, in your personal life, if you're not bringing in the income or if you're short on what you want to do, you can't just print out money. And that situation doesn't work in our real lives, so it's almost unfair that the government's playing this game and kind of just leaving us all out to dry, leaving our future out to dry. I think that's the biggest issue, is that, I probably will not bear the brunt of what's going on as far as what's being paid out there, as the taxes being raised. It will be my children, quite possibly my grandchildren, that are going to be the ones that will be left with this burden of this bill and what's being done. So I encourage people to think about it that way too. I have a 1-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old daughter. And I really I wanted the country to be a good place for them as it was when I was growing up. And we always wanted our parents want to leave something to us and leave it in better shape than it was for them. I think we owe that to our kids and future generations to do the same. And kind of like mortgaging off our future right now. It's probably not the best thing to do, but recognizing something needs to be done and give them credit for realizing that. We need to really tweak the bill. It needs Republican, the GOP help, and the bipartisan effort. A lot of things that got done during the Clinton era was because you had Clinton and Newt Gingrich and people like that working together to get bills passed. It wasn't just one side or the other. So people need to keep that in mind when we're looking at our country and the direction we're moving in, and wondering why things aren't getting done. The Republican Party has been criticized for being the party of no, and in a way it could appear that way, but at the same time, we all have to realize that they're trying to figure out a better way to make this bill work and to get this country in a better position. So, party and no might not be the best way to frame it for them, and that works for Democrats. But at the same time, this country has gone along fine for over 200 years without having insurance yet. So I don't think that, and considering that it won't start for another 2 to 3 years, I think we can take the time right to make sure we get the bill right the first time. I think a lot of people kind of forget that this won't even kick in for another 2 years. We'll be paying for it for the first 2 years before the program even goes into effect. So people need to keep that in mind when we're dealing with this. So we got a couple more people on Ustream watching. How you doing? Thanks for checking in this evening. Hope you're enjoying the show. I'm going to go to my next issue. Like I said, I don't know what my broadcast, what my sound is sounding like out there, so I apologize if it's not sounding to the best of its ability right now. And again, if it's not, we'll go back on the air tomorrow to get a better reception. But we just, like I said, we're constantly trying to update and improve the show. So thanks for your patience. Thanks for listening in. My Ustream broadcast, we usually have no problem with those. So again, we're going on both. So give me a call, 347-996-3175. I'm going to move on to the next issue for now. Again, if you're listening in, if you have any questions or you want to talk about the health care bill, that'd be great. I want to talk about the terrorist rights for the young man that was charged in Detroit on Friday. He pled not guilty in a criminal court in Detroit, in federal court. So, again, he's being afforded the same rights and privileges as an American citizen. He's not an American citizen. He came here to do harm to our country. He's enjoying all the privileges and all the defense and all the things that the privileges of being in this country, the same things that he wanted to destroy, he's benefiting from now. I think it's quite ironic. I think sometimes our administration needs to toughen up a little bit on the whole idea that these guys are not our friends. They are not here to placate and to appease us. So there's no need trying to do that to them. A lot of other countries, the word profiling, I guess, is something that the liberals don't want to use. But realistically, in a situation like this, if they'd done their job, if that had been feasible at the time, this guy probably would never have made it to the plane. He was actually brought into a room for questioning and was never searched because, of the way we're doing things, being PC and not wanting to offend anybody. So I think that we just really have to toughen up. Don't treat it like it's an isolated incident. I think the president actually did use the word war once, as opposed to just using it as just a criminal incident. He should have been in someone's military prison. We should have been able to get more information out of him, interrogate him in a way that's not similar to criminal court, where he has the right to remain silent, lawyers, that sort of thing. He's lawyered up now, and I don't expect you to get much more information out of him because, quite frankly, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to say anything. So, I think we need to really pay attention to this case. We've got a few different cases now where we're treating terrorists as if they are, just natural criminals, maybe just breaking the law, jaywalking, breaking and entering, that kind of thing. And I think that we're going to pay for that in the end because these guys are not giving up. We can act like we're willing to talk and be friends or as much as we want. They do not believe in that, and if they talk to us, it's because they think they won. It's not because they want to end the war. They believe that they won at that point. So we cannot negotiate with terrorists. It's that simple. It's always been the American policy, and I don't think that we should start now. We need to support Israel. We need to make sure that they're getting the support they need, and make sure that we're not, so busy trying to placate to others that we're not taking care of our true alliances and our friends over there. The only people that accept democracy is that way, and we owe it to Israel to protect them that way. So I'm hoping that the president and his staff realize that, and as we move forward, we'll do a better job of that. As of right now, I honestly don't feel like we're safer because of the way we're treating things. I realize that throughout the world, people look at America differently and had a negative opinion because maybe some of the mistakes of the previous administration, maybe some of the tactics or the things that were said or done. But at the same time, though they might not have liked us, respected us in the sense that we didn't have another attack after 9/11 on American ground. It's not for a lack of effort that they didn't try. It's just that we were using the information and the same tactics that we were trying to figure out in the beginning. We were getting to these people before they got to America, and we were able to protect our country and keep it safe. And now, again, the minute we fall away from that kind of strategy is when you start having people coming over here strapping bombs to themselves and willing to blow themselves up right over my city. So that one hit especially hard, and because again, it was at Christmas, there was no other reason but to spread terror. But and see, again, they don't play by the same rules they want us to respect. We don't even attack these people during holy months and different holidays, which is, again, that's the way America is. We respect others and their cultures, but they feel free to try to bomb us on Christmas Day, trying to spread their brand of fear and intimidation. And yet still we give this gentleman three hots and a cot and give him the same privileges, like I said, as someone who just broke into a store or something. So it's unfortunate, and I think that, again, those are the kind of things we need to call out our leaders on, our administration. Don't treat these terrorists like they're American citizens and that they deserve the exact same rights, because quite frankly, they don't. The KSM trial is going to be nothing more than propaganda for people to spread the word of who did what, trying to get classified information, declassified. A total possible threat to the work that our people have done over there already. And so I think it's unfortunate that we are playing this kind of game with these terrorists. They're not playing, so we need to really step it up. And I appreciate it. Again, I want to thank everyone that's listening tonight, watching either on Ustream or listening to Blog Talk Radio. Give me a call, 347-996-3175. We've been kind of slow tonight as far as calls. I don't know what's going on out here. I don't know if the audio broadcast is not going over well, but give me a call. Let me know. I want to hear from you. 347-996-3175. Thank you. I want to know from you, America, do you feel safer? Like I said, I really don't right now. Again, I feel safe in the fact that we live in America, but the idea that some of these organizations, terrorists in these different countries, are comfortable with the idea of attacks and coming after our country. Where do we stand? What do we do to assert ourselves and to be proactive instead of reactive to these problems? I'm hoping as time goes on that we realize that that's the only way we can approach it. We have a lot of work to do, but that's the only way we can do it. We have to approach it hands-on and be proactive. We can't wait for the problem to pop up in our backyard like this last incident where, like I said, we probably could benefit from even getting on a plane with a little more stringent testing, a little more, again, we hate to use the word profiling. Me as a young black male, understand that that's not a good thing. But in a situation like this, where we're talking about hundreds of lives, creating all kinds of travel and commerce issues for a lot of different people, it might be worth it in a situation like this for people's safety to install whatever behavioral analysis, or whatever you need to call it. Frame it however you want to be PC, I suppose. But we need to really be paying a better attention to what's going on out here. So give me a call, 347-996-3175. And I'm going to go on to Twitter here, see if I got any messages along the live chat to see what's going on out here. Quiet night on the show. Call in 347-996-3175. I'm going to go on my Twitter account here and see what's going on. If anybody's listening, besides I just heard from one caller, can anybody else call in and let me know how it's sounding out there? I'm curious about how the actual audio is. Give me a call. 347-996-3175. Sending out a little chat to people watching on Ustream. Hoping you can join me. All right. During the day, I talk with a lot of different people about the different issues, and I think that's really one of the great things about Twitter and all the different social media sites is that it allows people to constantly to voice opinions and to make his voice heard. And we can interact with all different kinds of people from all over the country. I mean, I think it's great that there are people here that I definitely agree with or disagree with, and we can talk about it civilly and actually come up with ideas. It just seems like maybe our politicians could try that too. And again, I think that's one of the great things about this and all the whole grassroots organizations, all the Tea Parties. That's what it's really all about, is putting the power back into the hands of the people and not just the politicians and the big companies. Because right now, I think it's fairly obvious that is who is controlling our country and our decision making. So give me a call, 347-996-3175. I'll hear from you. All right, we're kind of winding down for the show. This thing, we got about 20 minutes left, and I want to take a little time out to let you know what's going on next Monday. I might do another show between now and then just to talk about a little bit more. I will be doing a Tea Party speech in Carroll, Michigan, and I've been invited up there by the nice people up there, and I look forward to the speech. It will also have a lot of significance for the fact that it will be on Martin Luther King's birthday. So I look forward to the opportunity. I can't wait to get up there so we can all talk in a way about getting this country back on its feet and what the ideas and what are some of the issues that people have, because a lot of, I don't know how much politicians actually care about that, or if it's not in their actual district, or if it's not a vote for them. I don't know how much they actually care about how this is affecting, our country, our psyche, the feeling and the direction that our country's heading in the right direction, the wrong direction. I think it's important to get the opinions of both sides of the aisle, people that agree and disagree, because that way we're handling and giving a voice to everyone. It's not just one side of the coin, and I don't believe in that myself. I stand stern with what I believe in, but I realize there are people that are going to believe things that are different, and I think that's where having an open mind and dealing with people and not ready to just make it something where it's a me against you thing. We really do have to work together as a country and not just make it something where we're constantly fighting with each other and making it's bigger than that, and our country really needs to work together. So I can't wait for next Monday. Mark, hope you're listening. If you're you're listening, give me a call in or something. Let me know that you're listening in this evening. But I will be there Monday at 7 p.m. is the speech, and I look forward to it. I think there's supposed to be some other Tea Party associates up there from different organizations, so I look forward to that. We had one today out in Troy. I was not able to make it to that because I was getting prepared for the show and getting ready for this evening, but I'm going to start doing some more on the scene reporting of what's going on, start showing up some more of these events so we can really get the feel of what the American people, what their issues are, what they want to see changed, and what they want to see different. So give me a call if you're listening in 347-996-3175. Give me a call. Let me know how the sound is this evening. I haven't heard from anybody, and the first gentleman called in and said that my audio wasn't sounding too good. So I apologize if it's not sounding great. It's because we switched up mics this evening, and I'm trying something different using the same mic and broadcast from my Ustream and also with the radio show. So if it was not the best sound quality, I apologize. I appreciate you for listening. And we're also going to start thinking about consider doing the show in the afternoon because I get a lot more people, actively tweeting back and forth. In the evenings, we get people that are late, that are in bed by this time. So look forward to the next couple of weeks. We start switching it up, maybe doing something live during the day to give more people a chance to either listen in or call in. So give me a call, 347-996-3175. I'm only going to spend a quick minute on Senator Harry Reid. I feel like it's almost a waste of time to really spend too much time on it because nothing's going to be done. The hypocrisy that goes on amongst Democrats when it comes to these kind of issues, it blows my mind. He used what we consider a poor choice of words, possibly being racially insensitive, if that's the best way you want to use it. And all he had to do was say, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Sorry." Use the best words. That's it. Nothing else. Others before him have had to resign from their jobs. Obviously, I'm talking about Trent Lott and people like that. For making comments that were inappropriate, for making comments that were out of bounds again. And at that time, he was a Republican, and he stood his ground. And President Bush actually had to dissociate himself from those comments. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And I think that's where we stand. So I've got another call here. I'm going to take this call.
Hello.
Caller, can you hear me?
Hi, Wayne. It's Elisa. I just wanted to call and let you know that I'm watching you on Ustream.
Okay.
And really enjoying the show. I'm really glad that you're doing what you're doing and spreading the word and trying to help people understand a little bit about what's going on and what we need to do to try and make things better. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm listening and I support you in what you're doing.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you calling in. And you said you're watching it on Ustream, so I'm trying to see how the audio's been going. But it seems that everybody's been the Ustream broadcast has been a lot clearer with people. So
yeah, it's real clear. On the phone right now, it's a little bit distorted a little bit, but as far as Ustream, it's real clear. So, and I've been watching since you started, so it's been good.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you listening in. What do you think about about any of these issues I was talking about this evening? What issue to you strikes the most core and means the most to you? Of all the different things I was talking about, the health care bill or these terrorist rights?
Well, the one, there's a lot of things that kind of strike points with me, but one big issue I have, I think, is the terrorist being treated as if he were a citizen. I believe that our military should be handling this and taking a more active approach in trying to handle the situation and prosecute him, and not really letting it go through our court system in Detroit. It kind of concerns me that it could be handled a little bit differently.
I agree. We've lost a lot of information by not interrogating him a little bit more extreme, or pushing hard for information. Now you got a lawyer, he probably will not, like I said, he probably will not say too much more. I can imagine.
Right. So, but basically, I wanted to just call you and let you know that I'm listening, I'm following you. I'm real excited about your tea party coming up next week, and I'm hoping that we can hear more about that, and I'm just really excited to hear what you have to say. So I just wanted to thank you again and let you know that we're out here, we're listening, and we're enjoying the show.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you calling in, and I'm glad you're as well. I'm actually going to try to do a Ustream broadcast of that tea party speech too. So hopefully I can get everything set up so they can actually people can watch it live. Even if they're not able to come, they can watch it live on my website.
Okay, great. Well, I look forward to that. Okay, well, thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, you have a good evening.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. I appreciate the call in. I appreciate everybody that's listening, whether on Blog Talk Radio or actually on Ustream. I appreciate everyone that. Again, I'm not trying to change people's opinions. I want to just inform people, let people make their own decisions. That's what this is all about. It's not about me trying to convert people or make someone become Republican, something like that. If you come to the right side, that's good for you. I'm happy for you, but you still have the right to be an independent or a Democrat or whatever you want to be. But the bottom line is that we as a country, we're all Americans, we need to work together to figure out the best ways to get to a better American. We can't do it by playing sides and excluding parties, because this is all something that the spirit of democracy is supposed to work together. I caught a lot of flack earlier today when I made a comment about that there's nowhere in the Constitution this God-given right for health care, and I meant that just from the standpoint that it's in the Constitution. There's nowhere in it that's a given. But from the stand, I realize people out here that need it. There's uninsured that just can't afford health care, and so I understand that struggle. So I understand that, but at the same time, we can't put ourselves in a situation that's going to damage our country for generations to come and for a long time to come. If you look at any other program that we have, whether it be Social Security, welfare, Section 8, anything that we've created, everything is drastically over budget. It's not what we thought it was going to be. So it's impossible to think that we're going to create a whole other entity, another business that accounts for 1/6 of our economy, and think that we're going to operate that smoothly. We have not proven yet in any other government program that we can do it correctly. We have the VA. You ask a veteran about how things are handled, he probably would. A lot of them are unsatisfied with that. There's the post office is even out of whack as far as under budget. They're considering actually moving it to no Saturdays for mail to cover all the losses. So the idea that even with the mail system, which essentially runs itself and can't be profitable and be a good business model, it makes no sense to think that you can have a health care bill that is government operated and think that it's going to be on budget, first of all, which is my biggest concern is that we just create things without holding anybody accountable or paying attention to the numbers. And I think that we do our country and our futures a major disservice when we do that. So I think people really need to pay attention to that. Over the last couple months, the president's pretty much been able to walk around what I would call immunity to whatever he wants to do. And I think now they're paying the price for that. So we have to, as a country, we have to step it up. We have to make them all accountable. That's the message I'm preaching. That when I'm at the Tea Party event, it will be more about not just against singling out one person. It's easy to go after the leader, the president. He is the one in charge. So at the end of the day, his decision-making process is what we can challenge. But they're all in this together. It's not just him by himself. We have Republican and Democratic leaders that need to work together to get something done, and they also have to do it with the idea of the people. I can't get that through enough that we need to really find us a leader that understands this is about the people. It's not about big businesses. It's not about creating a larger government. One way or another, people think that, Democrats are for the people and all that. No, they're just for a larger government, increasing their lifestyle for them and the people that are around them, making sure their friends and girlfriends and whatever have jobs and that sort of thing. But as far as actually creating something and ideas, the best ideas I'm seeing right now from the people, the American people, the people that actually are looking for answers and looking for ways to create, whether it be jobs or opportunities. And I think that is, as we go on, 2010, 2012, that will be the impact of things like Twitter, Facebook. I mean, Facebook was not in its infancy, but it was in a much bigger beginning stage before when President Obama won, and he used it. He used Facebook and Twitter masterfully for reaching different audiences and young people, and that's going to be something else I'm going to talk about in my the Tea Party speeches. That how other parties need to really reach out and make sure that we're all feeling included and involved in this process. That was something else that President Obama had a major advantage of, is that he was reaching out to young people, minorities, making them feel part of the process. And I think that you can commend him for that, even though he might have gotten to believe things that might necessarily have been true. He's not the only politician that will do that. So we just have to make people more accountable and do things, think outside the box the way he did to become president, to make a difference for people, because I think that's where it lies, where he made a difference, is that he, in the beginning, was reaching out to people, $5 donations, $10 donations. Grandma was giving up, breaking in piggy banks and stuff like that. And I think that that part is on the money, that we need to put a system in place. And John McCain tried to do that a long time ago, keeping an eye on the donations and that sort of thing, to try to kind of regulate how much people can buy, to keep our politicians basically from being on the market and being for sale. I mean, that's essentially what Ben Nelson did. And now, he was against the bill until they were willing he was willing to get something in return for his vote. Now, again, if there's any other setting in business, that would be considered a bribe. If I called Senator Ben Nelson and offered him $300 million to pass a bill for me, he would take me to jail. I would, immediately go to jail. So I guess it all depends on who's doing what and if that's okay or not. But I really think that is something, again, the media really needs to put more focus on, the fact of how these bills are getting done and the secrecy of what they're being done. Because if people are just finding out about all these different details in the bill, and these are the leaders, what do you think will happen to us as time goes on? Will we be forced to, more changes, more surprises? And I think that's where we're at right now. So we don't want to get any more surprises. We've been surprised enough at this point. So it's time for the American people to make things more, make these politicians more accountable. I appreciate everyone who's been listening, whether it was on Blog Talk Radio this evening or on Ustream. I might be going on Ustream again during the day tomorrow to get, like I said, reach out to more of my followers and people calling in. All my people that have called in, my favorite people, Ness out in Baltimore, Coco out in Beverly Hills, and all people out that give me calls. I appreciate it. Hope you're listening in. It really is good to hear from people and know that they're listening and know that they appreciate what you're doing out here. So I thank you for listening in and paying attention. Again, I can't wait till next Monday to give that speech, because I think that from the standpoint of, again, how they tried to paint the picture with the Tea Parties, and that they're all just you know racist and that sort of thing. These people did not have to ask me to come up there to give that speech if that was the case. So I wanted to help dispel that notion and show that that's not what this is about. This is more about the people, the American people, and the direction that we want to go in. And a lot of people, regardless of skin color, are not happy with the current direction. And again, this is, because Obama's the president, he's going to bear the brunt of it, but it's not all his fault. It's all the politicians. It's the culture of D.C., the whole pay to play mentality, and that would be my issue. That you promise change, we're not getting that yet, and it seems that he's assimilating and adapting to that culture more and more. He was a senator before, so this is not new to him. But at this point, it seems that he's assimilated to it more, and he's willing and dealing just to get things done. And that's what that whole bill feels like to me at this point. I could not argue if you get something passed, which again, no one's going to pass it. They know that would be a bad idea. A single-payer system that would guarantee everyone health insurance. Well, okay, now that makes, even though I would disagree with it, it makes sense what you're trying to accomplish. Right now, we're not doing the things even to make the health care bill make sense. We're not going after the trial lawyers and the tort reform and the things that could really help health care reform. We're strictly going after redistribution of wealth and money to accommodate the program, and now you're seeing that it's actually hitting middle America, and I don't think they're happy about that. So time will tell. We'll keep asking questions. We're going to keep sending out the message that people aren't happy and that they don't believe that. So I really do hope that we continue to stay strong and vigilant on it and not to give up. There's times when you might feel like your voice or your vote didn't count or not being heard. I encourage people not to believe that and to continue to stay involved, because that's truly the only way you're going to make a difference out here is somehow get involved. That's what I try to do with my radio show, is try to create a forum and an avenue where people can voice opinions. We can have different opinions, okay. And at the same time, we're not just sitting here arguing back and forth, trying to come up with solutions or come up with ideas, because, again, it's about being productive and moving forward. So I want to thank everybody that's listening or watching on Ustream or listening on Blog Talk Radio. I'm going to be logging off soon. 90 seconds left on the actual radio show, so I log off on Ustream also once the show is up. We had a few viewers on this evening. I appreciate everyone listening. Go to my website, conservativescool.com, and check out all the different features, whether it be the comedy, CIC comedy, the latest news. We have a lot of material there to, again, be thought-provoking and entertaining at the same time. So enjoy my website, enjoy the blog. I see people logging off on Ustream. Thanks for watching this evening. I hope that you enjoyed the show. I hope that we'll continue to try to make the show better, bringing in guests in February. So thank you for listening. I appreciate it. God bless you. Again, keep the fight up and be vigilant. Don't give up. Realize that all voices can be heard. It's not against the rules to disagree with each other, and we just all have to realize we're all Americans and we want what's best for our country, and that is the goal. I appreciate everyone that listens in and watches the show. See how much time? 10 seconds left. So go to the website, conservativeschool.com, and thank you. God bless you. Good night. I'm dialing off, and I'm also logging off the Ustream. So thank you. God bless you. Good night. Peace.